In Washington, proximity is power, and Jared Kushner's office is as close as it gets to the president. When you walk into the West Wing, it's a small space. Everyone who walks down the hall to meet the president will walk by Jared Kushner's office. He has become Trump's most loyal troubleshooter. The president trusts him and gives him some of his most important policy initiatives to try to drive through. Tell me more about how you see your role in the White House. What does the president come to you for?
Over the last, 4 years that I've been doing this now, the president's given me all sorts of different projects to run, either to assess it and to give him advice on why something hasn't happened, or to help him assemble a team to push something forward, and then sometimes to project manage a different file to push it through.
How do you answer the nepotism question? I mean, that you're in this position, you have this amount of power because you're married to the daughter of the president.
So look, I had a very successful business career before I got involved with the campaign. I think that my performance and contribution on the last campaign, and then my performance and contributions over the last 3 years in the White House should probably answer that question.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Jared Kushner's learned on the job. When he first got to the White House, there were early missteps. He pushed for policy proposals that were unpopular with Trump's base and got caught up in political infighting inside the West Wing. Now that Jared has more influence in the White House, the stakes are higher. His critics worry that he may be in a position to lead Trump into policy positions that hurt his re-election chances.
How has Trump being impeached by the House changed the atmosphere and the mood in the White House?
So I think at first it was a surprise for people, but a lot of us have been through a lot of battles over the last 5 years. We basically said, look, there's no FBI agents going around interviewing people. We were through special counsel investigations. We were through a lot of different ups and downs on the campaign. We've done our best just to combat the messaging, and I think it's been working. We're seeing now in the data that the president's risen about 8 points since the impeachment started in his favorability in the places that matter, and that the Democrats' approval has gone down by about 6 points.
Are we going to war with Iran after this strike?
Look, one thing with the president I've seen is that he always is willing to challenge status quo, but he's willing to get into situations that can lead to possible positive outcome. It showed that the era of American appeasement is over, and a lot of people are saying that it's bringing back the era of American deterrence, so that people know that if they're targeting American service members or American civilians, there will be consequences under this president.
Kushner showed us around his office. We saw items that highlighted key moments in the last 3 years of Kushner's involvement in the White House. For example, his role in moving the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, his role in pushing through a major prison reform bill, the First Step Act. Also on the wall is a framed medal given to Kushner by the government of Mexico, which is the Order of the Aztec Eagle, the highest award given to any foreigner by the Mexican government.
As Kushner's portfolio has expanded, he's developed enemies. For all the praise that Kushner's gotten from the president, he has rivals in the West Wing who feel like he swoops in at the last minute to claim credit for things that were already underway.
A new book coming out is reporting that your grandfather lied on his immigration form, used a different name, took the name Kushner to come in. Does that make you more sympathetic to immigrants who are facing immigration violations now?
Look, I have my personal opinions, my personal sympathies, but I work for the President of the United States, and my job is to, when he asks my advice on things, give him my advice, but then when the President makes a decision, my job is to help him execute that decision.
Your grandparents survived the Holocaust. How do you reconcile that family legacy with the fact that the refugee numbers have gone down so dramatically under President Trump?
Yeah, so what President Trump's view has been on immigration is that we are a welcoming country for immigrants. President Trump has said many times he wants to have more immigrants come to the country. He just wants people to come through the front door and enter legally. And so,
but the numbers don't back that up. I mean, fewer people are coming in.
You gave out more green cards last year, I think, almost than any year in history. So President Trump wants people to go through the legal immigration system, and he wants to make sure that we're fixing that in a way that will keep our country competitive for the long term. So what the president asked me to do on this was to put together a lot of the immigration team from throughout the administration, get all of the best thinkers and put them together, and then really put together a plan that was representative of what he wanted to see. So this isn't my immigration plan. This is President Trump's immigration plan.
What are the president's priorities for a second term?
I think that a lot of the work that the president's done has stimulated the economy in a great way. I think that we're seeing the jobs number continue to grow. We're seeing wages starting to rise. We're seeing businesses starting to grow. So I think what the president will do is look to finish a lot of what he started. He'd like to reform immigration. He would like to finish infrastructure. Drug pricing is a very, very important issue. The president said from day one he wants to lower drug prices, and he wants to continue in our healthcare system to get costs down for everybody.
You want to stay in Washington?
Look, right now, our family likes it here. Our kids like the lifestyle here. They don't get to see us as much as they would like, but for us, it's been an amazing honor to serve the country. And I do think that they're going to study this president for generations to come, and they're going to look at all of the successes and the ways that he was able to accomplish things, maybe with an unconventional style. But I think with an unconventional style, this president has achieved historic results.
There's a number of priorities still on Kushner's plate, and he's running Trump's campaign. This campaign's a lot different than 2016. Trump ran a skeleton crew. This time, Kushner's leading a massive campaign operation, working very closely with the Republican National Committee. 3 years ago, Kushner was a complete neophyte in Washington. Time will tell if he's learned enough in that time to pull it off.